Have you ever felt this is a specific kind of tired? Not the tired that comes from working too much, but the tired that comes from working hard for years and feeling like absolutely nothing is moving. You're skilled, you're reliable, you never miss a deadline, and someone else still gets promotion. I know that feeling, and today I'm going to tell you exactly what is going on and more importantly, what to do about it. Hello my friend, I hope you're doing great. If you are new here, I'm Amit, and in this channel we talk all about project management, customer success, productivity and leadership. So if you are a young or a mid-career professional, please subscribe for more practical and actionable tips. Now let's get back to our topic. Now first let's see why this matters. I want to tell you a story today because I think you are going to recognize yourself in it. The name of my character in this story is Arjun. So Arjun is a senior developer at a tech services company in Pune. He's working there from the last 4 years. He delivers consistently, his code is clean, his tickets get closed on time, and his team lead trusts him completely. He has been passed over for a team lead role twice. Once for a colleague with less experience, and second time for a new hire from outside the company. Now at both the times he was told the same thing. You are doing great work. We just want to give you more time to develop your leadership skills. Surprisingly enough, he had no idea what that meant. He was already helping junior developers, he was already going beyond his job description. What leadership skills were they looking for that he did not already have? So he did what most people do in that situation. He worked harder, he took on more, he made himself even more indispensable. And a year later, he was still in the same position. More tired, more frustrated, and starting to wonder if it was time for him to just move to a different company. Now does this sound familiar to you? And here is what Arjun was missing. And nobody actually explains this part. Arjun had made himself essential, but essential and promotable are two very different things. Essential means the company needs you exactly where you are. Promotable means your company can see you succeeding somewhere else at a higher level with more responsibility with less oversight. Now here's the hard part. The more indispensable you make yourself in your current role, the harder it actually is to promote you. Because moving you creates a problem. The shift Arjun needed to make was not to work harder. It was to start building skills and visibility that pointed upward, not just deeper into his current lane. For him, that meant understanding how projects were actually managed, not just how his piece of the work fit in. It meant learning to speak the language of stakeholders, not just the language of developers. It meant making his thinking visible in places beyond his own team. So, the takeaway from this is to ask yourself honestly right now, am I essential in my current role or am I building towards the next one? If the answer is essential, that is a thing to change. You need to name your path. Now here is the moment that changed everything for Arjun. He stopped asking, how do I get promoted? And started asking, what does the person in the role I want actually do every day? That one question changed everything. Because when he answered it honestly, he realized the gap was not about technical skills, it was about project management, which is coordination, prioritization, and communication across teams, and the ability to see the bigger picture of a delivery. Once he named the path, he could start taking real steps towards it. He volunteered to coordinate delivery efforts in his team. He asked his manager if he could join project review meetings, even just as an observer. He started studying for his PMP. Not because a certificate would magically open the door, but because the process of studying gave him a framework for the skills he was already trying to build. Naming the path gave his efforts direction. Before that, he was just trying harder at the same thing and expecting different results. So, the takeaway from this is to write down the title you want in next 12 to 18 months. Then, find someone who holds that title and look at what they actually do day to day. This is your map. After some time, Arjun got his PMP, and yes, things changed after that. But here is the honest version of the story. The PMP did not change things because it was a magic door opener. It changed because by the time he sat for the exam, he has already been thinking and behaving like a project manager for months. The certification gave his manager a concrete external signal to point to. He has been leading delivery coordination for the last 6 months and he's ready for a project lead role. That is a sentence that is easy to say in a promotion discussion. But the certification alone, without the behavior change, without the visibility and without the intentional path, would have been just a line on a CV. The credential accelerated the path had to come first. So the takeaway from this is, do not wait until you have the certification to start acting like the person you want to become. Start building the behavior now. The certification just makes it official. Now let's talk about why this matters for your career specifically. Because most of your colleagues are still in Arjun's old mindset. They are working hard, staying busy, making themselves useful, and wondering why the promotion keeps going to someone else. When you understand the difference between essential and promotable, you start making different decisions. You show up differently in meetings, you volunteer for different things, you have different conversations with your manager. The shift is visible and it is rare. Companies are promoting people who can think beyond their current lane, people who can see the bigger picture, communicate it clearly, and own outcomes, not just tasks. If you start operating that way before you have the title, you become the obvious choice when the opportunities comes up. This is not about politics. It is not about who you know. It is about giving your manager the evidence they need to go to bat for you. Now let's look at your action plan. 3 things you can do this week. Action item 1. Write down the title you want in the next 12 to 18 months. Not a vague goal, a specific title. Then find 2 to 3 people who hold that title today and look at what they actually do day to day. That is your gap analysis. Do this by the end of this week. Action item number 2. In the next team meeting, ask one question that shows you are thinking about the bigger picture and not just your own task. Something like, how does this decision affect the Q3 delivery timeline for the other team? You just ask one question, that's it. But it signals something very different about how you think. Action item number 3. Pick one project you are currently on. And instead of reporting what you did, start reporting what you did and what it meant for what comes next. Add one line to every status update that shows you are thinking ahead. Make this a habit starting from your very next update. Now there are 3 things to remember from today. First, being essential in your current role can actually work against your promotion. The goal is to be seen as ready for the next one. 2, naming your path changes how you work. Once you know what role you are building toward, every decision becomes clear. And number 3, credentials accelerate a path you are already on. Build the behavior first, then get the credential. Now, if this video gave you something useful, hit the like button. It helps more people find this content. And then drop a comment, where are you right now in your career and what is the one thing holding you back from the next level. Drop it in the comments. I genuinely read every single one and I will reply. And if you are not subscribed yet, do that now. We publish every week on project management, career growth, and everything in between. Until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.